Okay? Then you can take the surface area of those faces and sum them up. Okay? So however you pull that geometry over is depending on what operation you'd be. So in that case, it would be face area or surface area. Okay, but that says what? Yeah. I just chose to use that, and I like to use that because it's a little cleaner in this case, but we can have an academic discussion again on what way to go, but there's more than one way to skin that. Kat, those are awesome questions. Okay, I'm going to get your question as I set up the next one. I want everyone to close this down, and we're going to move to the next example, but I'll get to your question. We are going to then move on to this one, which is how to use align offset. So just close Dynamo. You need to close Dynamo. Don't close Revit. Just close your project, and then open to that one called align offset. Start. Align offset start. Align offset start. Okay, then I'll take your question. Yes.
All right, so it's a quick question.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
Basically, you chose to search for the flag, you chose to search for some. Are they not different?
The question was, I searched for some, and I searched for some, and I searched for flatten. They are in the menus. I didn't think the logic for where to find that is as important, but it certainly is in there. It's under the core, and then under the math, and then under the sum. And then flatten is under the lists, under the flatten. But I tend to type those in. Unless it's geometry related or Revit related, I tend to just kind of type it in. Because there's a lot of miscellaneous things in there other than geometry and Revit. Does everyone see this? Okay, cool. So another thing is, why are we going to use Revit in this case? We want to align, why do I leave this over here? Okay, we want to align this beam to that edge at a 1 foot offset. Okay? So, what do you typically do? Let me answer that. And then everyone kind of, by applause, tell me this is what you do. You got to align that to 1 foot offset. So, you go to your align tool, right? And then you click on this edge, right? And then you click on that, right? And you're like, okay, now I need to be 1 foot off. And then you grow it by 1 foot or move it by 1 foot, right? Does anyone do that? Anyone do that? Okay, yeah. You're like, yeah, I have to do that. You know why? It's because in the align command, there is no offset in the options. I brought this up to a developer, and they're like, no, there is an offset. It's set to 0. Thanks. So let's use Dynamo to help us do that. Because if you've got 500 beads to align along an edge, you don't want to have to go align, offset, move, align, pick, move, pick, move, right? Okay, Dynamo has a set location. So all we have to do in Dynamo is pick that edge, pick that beam, offset that edge 1 foot, and say, beam, go to that offsetted curve, right? So let's do it. Okay, so open Dynamo. Really cool. So the other lesson is, if there's something Revit can't do, and you ask the developers, or you know that it's not a feature, don't sit there and wait. Who do you ask for help? Yes, you can ask Marcel for help. Dynamo, can you align that beam for me at a 1 foot offset? Absolutely. Well, let's go. Right? Let's go. So don't wait for the developers. Lesson 1, lesson 2, use Dynamo. Okay, so here we go. Ready? Dynamo. All right, we're going to start moving a little quicker here. Okay, so that's the second item on your cheat sheet. And if you were lucky enough to steal that page out of the handout, then good for you. All right, so we want to do element set location. Okay, so go to new. Now we're going to build these first few from scratch, and then the other few we'll just kind of start halfway. Okay, ready? So go new, and then under Revit, go to elements, and under elements, element again. Now the reason you go element then element is because it's a general thing you do on an element. If it was something you